Welcome to my dear student. Today class we discuss about the subject name is Heat Power Engineering. Subject code CIT name 402C. DME second year. In this today class we discuss about the steam turbines. In this steam turbine fifth unit, topic is methods of governing. Methods of governing in steam turbines. Methods of governing in steam turbines. In this steam turbines, methods of governings. First one is throttle governing. Second is nozzle control governing. Third one is bypass governing. Fourth one is throttle and nozzle control governing. Fifth one is throttle and bypass governing. This is a 5 types of methods of governing. In this today we discuss about in nozzle control governing. Today class we have discussed about in nozzle control governing. In this nozzle control governing, on completion of this period you would be able to know about governing of steam turbine. Different methods of governing. These are on completion of today class we have discussed about in this topic about governing of steam turbines. Different methods of governing. Governor is a device which maintains speed of the prime mover constant irrespective of load. It is called governor. Governor is a device which maintains speed of the prime mover constant irrespective of load. Constant irrespective of load. It is called governor. Governor is the process of maintaining speed of a prime mover constant. Governing is the process of maintaining speed of a prime mover constant. Need for governing, useful to the governing. In riding a motorcycle, if speed is decreased due to increase in load, by operating throttle valves manually, more fuel is allowed into cylinder to bring back to the original speed. This purpose may be useful to the governing. In case of any stationary engine, governor will do the function varying fuel supply by sensing the variation in load. The methods of governing steam turbines are throttle governing. The methods of governing steam turbines are throttle governing, nozzle control governing, throttle governing, nozzle control governing, bypass governing, combined throttle and nozzle control governing, combined throttle and bypass governing. These are methods of governing. The methods of governing steam turbine are throttle governing, nozzle control governing, bypass governing, combined throttle and nozzle control governing, combined throttle and bypass governing. These are methods. The methods of governing steam turbine are throttle governing. First one is throttle governing, second one is nozzle control governing, third one is bypass governing, fourth one is combined throttle and nozzle control governing, fourth one is combined throttle and nozzle control governing, fifth one is combined throttle and bypass governing. These are methods of governing in steam turbines. Throttle governing, Throttle governing advantages, disadvantages. Throttle governing, first one is throttle governing advantages and disadvantages. Advantages: accurate speed control is possible in throttle governing, less initial cost, simple mechanism. Due to friction in throttling process, drainage fraction of steam is increased. Due to friction in throttling process, drainage fraction of steam is increased. Due to friction in throttling process, drainage fraction of steam is increased. These are advantages of the throttle governing. In throttle governing advantages: accurate speed control is possible, less initial cost, simple mechanism. Due to friction in throttling process, drainage fraction of steam is increased. Disadvantages of throttle governing: throttling losses, friction losses are high, low efficiency, only suitable for small turbines. The throttle governing is only suitable for small turbines. Next we discuss in second one is nozzle control governing. Steam supplied through 2 or 3 group of nozzles. We discuss about the nozzle control governing. Steam supplied through 2 or 3 groups of nozzles. Steams supplied through 2 or 3 groups of nozzles. Steam supplied through 2 or 3 groups of nozzles. Supply of steam to nozzle is through poppet valve, regulating mechanism. Supply of steam to nozzles is through poppet valve, regulating mechanism. This is a nozzle control governing. Steam supplied through 2 or 3 group of nozzles. Steam supplied through 2 or 3 groups of nozzles. Nozzle control governing. In this governing, steam supplied through 2 or 3 group of nozzles. Supply of steam to nozzle is through poppet valve. Supply of steam to nozzles is through poppet valve, regulating mechanism. Supply of steam to nozzles is through poppet valve, regulating mechanism. Supply of steam to nozzle is through poppet valve, regulating mechanism. If speed is increased, supply to a group of nozzle is cut off. If speed is increased, supply to a group of nozzle is cut off. At full load, all regulating valves are full open. At full load, all regulating valves are full open. This is a nozzle control governing as shown in this figure. Nozzle control governing. Steam supplied through 2 or 3 group of nozzles. Supply of steam to nozzles is through poppet valve, regulating mechanism. If speed is increased, supply to a group of nozzles is cut off. If speed is increased, supply to a group of nozzles is cut off. At full load, all regulating valves are fully open. At full load, all regulating valves are fully opened. Nozzle control governing as shown in this figure. This is a nozzle control governing. V1, V2, V3, these are velocities. N1, N2, N3, these are nozzles. This is a nozzle control governor as shown in this figure. Nozzle control governor. Nozzle control governing. Nozzle control governing as shown in this figure. Nozzle control governing. nozzle control governing, so as shown in this figure.
Nozzle governing. What is nozzle governing? Today we will discuss about nozzle governing. What is nozzle governing? Regulation of quantity of water or steam from nozzle for controlling the speed of turbine as load changes is called governing or nozzle governing. Firstly, we will discuss about parts of the nozzle governing process. We have a impulse turbine for different sets of nozzles. This is first set of nozzle, this is second set of nozzle, and below is third set of nozzle. These are the nozzles for providing water or steam to the impulse turbine. This is the inlet for steam, and these are the valves for operating steam. This is connected to the impulse turbine nozzle set with the help of pipes. First set is connected, second set is connected, and this third set is connected directly. Now, what will happen at the starting stage? All the valves are open and steam will go through these three connecting pipes and reach on the nozzle, and impulse turbine will start rotating with all the three openings. But if in the case of load changes, we can open and close these valves according to the requirement. What will happen when steam will inlet? Then this valve we can close. Then this supply of the steam or water will be stopped by this valve, and steam or water will not go to the first set of nozzle. So turbine speed can be maintained. Now this second valve will also work for stop water or steam to go to the second set of nozzle. So from these set of nozzles we can maintain the speed of the turbine by opening and closing of the valves. This is called nozzle governing. Thank you for seeing this video. For more updated videos, you can subscribe me on my
nozzle governing of the steam turbine. Nozzle governing. Today we will discuss about the nozzle governing of the steam turbine. Nozzle governing of steam turbine. In this type of governing, the steam is supplied to the different nozzle groups, or you can say set of groups, and these are suppose N1, N2 and N3 numbers, and this stream is controlled by uncovering as many stream passes as are necessary to meet the load by poppet value. The supply to these nozzle is controlled by the valves V1, V2 and V3. So now with the help of a diagram we can understand the working of nozzle governing of steam turbine. This is a circular passage through which set of nozzles are arranged. These are three set of nozzles, N1, N2 and N3. And this is the section for supplying the stream. N1 that is connected with this tank with the connecting pipe. N2 was also connected with this tank of steam supply, and N3 also connected with this tank. So here we can see three set of nozzles, N1, N2 and N3. These are connected with separate pipes with the section of tank. So this is the arrangement for valves. These are the three valves which are separately connected with the connecting pipe of the set of nozzles. These are V1, V2 and V3. This is the steam supply through these valves, and with the help of arrows we can see the direction of the steam supply through the three different set of nozzles, and with the help of this steam there is a turbine runner. The motion, the speed of the runner is controlled according to the load. So now we can see the working of this nozzle governing of steam turbine. As steam starts to flow, valves V1, V2 and V3 are open, and through these connecting pipes steam is going towards the set of nozzle N1, N2 and N3. And finally the turbine runner starts to rotate. So the speed of the runner that can be controlled with the supply of the stream, and as we can see, when the speed on the turbine, that speed of the runner that is increasing when load on the turbine is decreased, and when load on the turbine is increased, the speed of the turbine runner is increased. So to maintain the constant speed of the runner under the varying condition of the load on the turbine, we need to manage to control the supply of the steam through the valves V1, V2 and V3, and then through the set of nozzles. So according to the requirement of the load on the turbine, the supply of the steam through the set of nozzle with the help of valves V1, V2 and 3 that can be controlled. So this is the whole working of nozzle governing of steam turbine, but the nozzle control governing cannot be used for multi-stage impulse turbine due to small heat drop in first stage. So today we have learnt about the working of the nozzle governing and introduction of nozzle governing of steam turbine. Subscribe to get more.
We have learned about the nozzle control governing as shown in this figure. Video animation as shown in this figure. This nozzle 1 to steam is flowing, valve Y1, V2, V3. This valve is steam is flowing through the nozzle setup. This turbine will be rotating. The steam is supplied through the pipe in this figure. The steam is supplied to the pipe through nozzle setup. Nozzle setup is N1, N2, N3. This valve is V1, V2, V3. The valve through steam is supplied through pipe the nozzle setup. This turbine will be rotating. This is a nozzle control governing as shown in this figure. Video animation already showing. So nozzle control governing advantages. High efficiency in nozzle control governing advantages. Nozzle control governing advantages: higher efficiency, no throttling losses. In nozzle control governing, no throttling losses. High enthalpy drop is possible. In nozzle control governing advantages: high enthalpy drop is possible. These are advantages. Next, nozzle control governing disadvantages: suitable for first stage only. Disadvantages: suitable for first stages only. Suitable only for impulse turbines. These are nozzle control governing advantages and disadvantages we have learned about today class. Next, we discuss the bypass governing. These are nozzle control governing advantages: higher efficiencies, advantages, no throttling losses, high enthalpy drop is possible. Disadvantages of the nozzle control governing: suitable for first stages only, suitable only for impulse turbine. These are nozzle control governing advantages and disadvantages. In today class we have learned about, we discuss about in nozzle control governing advantages and disadvantages. Next, we discuss about the bypass governing. Bypass governing as shown in this we discuss. Next, we discuss the bypass governing. In bypass governing, normally steam expands through bypass governing. Normally steam expands through high pressure, medium, low pressure stages at full loads. Normally steam expands through high pressure, medium, low pressure stages at full loads. These are, if load is decreased, then steam is directly allowed to medium. If load is decreased, then steam is directly allowed to medium. If load is decreased, then steam is directly allowed to medium. Low pressure stages by bypassing high pressure steam. Bypassing high pressure steam. These are, load is decreases, then steam is directly allowed to medium. If load is decreased, then steam is directly allowed to medium or low pressure stages. Medium means low pressure stages by bypassing high pressure steam. Bypassing is high pressure steam. Bypass governing. Normally steam expands through high pressure, medium, low pressure stages at full loads. At full load, steam may be passing through high pressure, medium pressure, low pressure. The steam may be expanded this way: high pressure steam, medium pressure steam, low pressure stages may be there at full loads. If load is decreased, then steam is directly allowed to medium. If the load is decreases, steam is directly allowed to medium. Low pressure stages by bypassing high pressure steam. Low pressure stages by bypassing high pressure steam. This is a bypass governing procedure. Bypass governing has shown in this figure. This is a bypass governor. Bypass steam, nozzle box, throttle valves, steam inlet, steam belt. This as shown in this figure: bypass governor, throttle valve, steam inlet, steam belt. These are bypass governor. Bypass steam, bypass governing, nozzle box, bypass governing, bypass steam, nozzle box, throttle valve, steam belt, steam inlet, bypass governor. This is a bypass governing. Bypass governing: nozzle box, bypass steam, throttle valve, steam inlet, steam belt. This is a as shown in this figure. Comparison of throttle and nozzle control of governing. This is a bypass governing.
Bypass governing. What is bypass governing? Today we will discuss about bypass governing. What is bypass governing? This governing is used in overloaded case of the turbine. Regulation of quantity of water or steam by passing water or steam at later stages. We can see an example for this. We have two stages of turbines, first stage and second stage, and a connecting pipe to the first stage and second stage. A throttle valve is connected before first stage or second stage. Now steam will go like this. Firstly, steam will go through the throttle valve, then it will passing through the first stage of the turbine, then the second stage of the turbine. But if in the overloaded case, we want more speed of the turbine, so we have to bypass the first stage of the turbine. For this, we use a bypass valve. Now what will happen? When steam will come, it will not go directly through this pipe. It will be bypassed by this valve and the steam will reach at the second stage instead of first stage. So speed of the turbine will be increased. Now we take another example for understand it clearly. This is the rotor of the first stage. This is the rotor of the second stage turbine. Now when steam will bypass by the bypass valve, then second stage will work only instead of first stage. So in the overloaded case, bypass governing works. So this is the process of bypass governing. Thank you for seeing this video. For more updated videos,
as shown in figure, bypass governing as shown in this figure, video animation as shown in figure. Normally steam expands through high pressure, medium, low pressure stages at full loads. If load is decreased, then steam is directly allowed to medium low pressure stages by bypassing high pressure steam. As shown in this figure, bypass governing. Nozzle box bypass steam, steam is bypassing. Throttle valves, steam belt, steam inlet. This is a bypass governing as shown in this figure. Next we discuss in comparison of throttle and nozzle control governing. These both are comparison of two. Comparison of throttle and nozzle control governing. Comparison of throttle and nozzle control governing. Throttle governing, nozzle control governing. High throttling losses. High throttling losses in throttling governing. In nozzle governing, low losses. In throttling governing, low partial admission losses. Low partial admission losses. In nozzle governing, high. In throttle governing, less heat drop possible. In nozzle governing, high heat drop possible. In throttle governing, low efficiency. In nozzle governing, high efficiency. In throttle governing, used for both impulse and reaction turbines. In nozzle governing, only for impulse turbines may be used. In throttle governing, suitable for small turbines. In nozzle governing, suitable for medium and large turbines. These are throttle governing. Throttle governing. Throttle governing. This is a comparison of throttle and nozzle control governing. As shown in the, this is a comparison, throttle governing, nozzle control governing. In throttle governing, first one is high throttling losses. In nozzle governing, low losses. In throttle governing, low partial admission losses. In nozzle governing, high partial admission is losses. In throttle governing, less heat drop possible. In nozzle governing, high heat drop possible. In throttle governing, low efficiency. In nozzle governing, high efficiency. In throttle governing, used for both impulse and reaction turbines. In nozzle governing, only for impulse. We discuss about this comparison of throttle and nozzle control governing. In throttle governing, nozzle governing, this difference between two. High throttling losses. In throttle governing, nozzle governing, low losses. In low partial admission losses. In throttle governing, nozzle governing, high losses, partial governing losses. less heat drop possible in throttle governing. In nozzle governing, high heat drop possible. Throttle governing, low efficiency. In nozzle governing, higher efficiency. In throttle governing, used for both impulse and reaction turbines. In nozzle governing, only for impulse turbines. Only for impulse turbine. Throttle governing, suitable for small turbines. In
The governing of steam turbine. Today we will discuss the governing of steam turbine. Governing of steam turbine. So firstly we discuss the main function of steam turbine. The main function of the governing is to maintain the speed of the turbine constant irrespective of the load on the turbine. If the load on the turbine increasing, load on the turbine is decreasing, so in both the cases we need to maintain the speed of the turbine constant. So now, types of governing method used in steam turbine to maintain the constant speed of the governing of turbine, constant speed of the steam turbine irrespective of changes of the load. So first one is the throttle governing. Second one is nozzle control governing, bypass governing, combination of throttle and nozzle governing, combination of throttle and bypass governing. So in this video we discussed about the throttle governing and nozzle control governing. So first one is throttle governing. Throttle governing. So in throttle governing, the quantity of steam entering into the turbine is reduced by the throttling of the steam. The throttling is achieved with the help of double heat balanced valve, which is operated by centrifugal governor through the servo mechanism. This is the brief of the throttle governing, how it is operated. And in throttle governing, the effort of the governor, which is centrifugal, is not sufficient to move the valve against the piston in the big units. So an oil operated relay servo mechanism is incorporated in the circuit to magnify the small force produced by the governor to operate the valve. So now we will discuss about the main components of throttle governing and how it works. This is the centrifugal governor, and here these are the fly balls. It is sleeve, spring. This is differential lever. These are oil cylinder and servo motor cylinder. This is oil regulating valve. This is hand wheel for initial adjustment. This is servo motor position, and this is the passage for oil return. It is throttle valve, and this is the path for steam through which it enters, and from here steam goes out. This is the oil pump, bevel gear, and it is turbine shaft. So as we can see in this diagram, the position of the governor, the position of the pilot piston, and position of relay piston is shown. As we can see, this is the position of the governor, sleeve, differential lever, this is pilot pistons, these are the relay pistons. So here the positions is shown, but this position is for full load on the turbine and that is running at full speed. Now the case, if load on the turbine is reduced, the turbine will start to rotate at speed greater than full load speed as the energy supplied is same. Now we discuss the case when load on turbine that is reduced, turbine is rotating at high speed than the full load speed as energy supplied is same. So an increased speed of turbine shaft causes the governor sleeve to move upward. So if we consider this case, this is moving with high speed, load on turbine is less, then this sleeve it moves upward and fly ball expand. So in that case this differential lever it moves upward. When it moves upward, then this pilot piston moves down and this relay system is also down. So if this differential lever moves up, then this pilot piston moves up and this relay system piston moves down. Due to its upward movements, this valve becomes open and oil from the oil pump that starts to flowing from this valve and it forces this relay piston to moves down, and when it moves down, then it shifting the position of throttle valve, and when it moves down, the oil that is goes through this oil return passage. So increased speed of turbine that cause governor sleeve to move upward and this causes to move the pilot piston upward, and upward motion of pilot piston allows the high pressure oil to enter on the top side of the relay piston through upper part and allows the oil from relay cylinder to come down to oil return through pilot cylinder. The downward motion of the relay piston partly closes the throttle valve and causing the reduction in steam supply, and the reverse operation takes place when load on turbine increases. And throttle governing is simple in operation but thermodynamically inefficient as the available heat drop is reduced in irreversible throttling process. So this is the process all about the throttle governing. I repeat it again. When load on turbine this is decreases, it will rotate with high speed, fly ball expand, sleeve moves upward, differential lever moves upward, and this pilot piston moves upward, and this relay piston moves downward, and this valve becomes open for the supplying of oil from the oil pump, and the path of the oil is from here, then it exerts the force on relay piston, it moves down, and then oil that moves out through this oil return passage, and due to its downward motion the position of the throttle valve changes and it reduces the supply of the steam, and when the process is different in different case, load on turbine that is decrease, turbine speed is when load on turbine increase, turbine speed is decrease, again this process is reversed. And next is the nozzle governing. In nozzle governing, steam is supplied to the different nozzle groups. These are the set of nozzles, and this is controlled by uncovering as many system passes as are necessary to meet the load by poppet value, and the supply to this nozzle is controlled by the valves V1, V2, V3. These are the set of nozzle N1, N2 and N3. this is the supply tank of the steam. These are the connecting pipes with different set of nozzle N1, N2 and N3, and these are the valves V1, V2 and V3, and this is the path of the steam supply. Arrow shows the motion and path of the steam which enter through the set of nozzles from different section. This is the turbine runner, and now we can see the working of nozzle governing of steam turbine. When steam is continuously supplied, the valves are open and steam is starts to flow through these connecting pipes. And when steam is passing through the set of nozzles, the turbine runner that starts to rotate. So according to the load, the valves arrangement can be adjusted, and due to adjustment of the valves V1, V2 and 3, the supply of the steam through set of nozzle N1, N2 and N3 that can be controlled, and speed of the turbine according to the load that can be controlled. So this is different from the throttle governing. And today we have learnt about the nozzle governing, throttle governing and the types of the governing of steam turbine. And the nozzle control governing cannot be used for multi-stage impulse turbine due to small heat drop in first stage. Subscribe to get more updates.
This is a comparison of throttle and nozzle control governing. Throttle governing, nozzle governing. In throttle governing, high throttling losses, low losses in nozzle governing. In throttle governing, low partial admission losses. In this nozzle governing, high. In throttle governing, less heat drop possible. In its high heat drop possible, nozzle governing. Low efficiency in higher efficiency. This low efficiency in this higher efficiency. Used for both impulse and reaction turbines. This only for impulse turbines. This suitable for small turbines. These are suitable for medium and large turbines. This is a comparison of the throttle and nozzle control governing. This is a comparison of the throttle and nozzle control governing. Throttle governing, nozzle governing. In throttle governing, high throttling losses. Nozzle governing, low losses. In throttle governing, low partial admission losses. In nozzle governing, high partial admission losses. In throttle governing, less heat drop possible. In nozzle governing, high heat drop possible. In throttle governing, low efficiency. In nozzle governing, higher efficiency. In throttle governing, used for both impulse and reaction turbines. In nozzle governing, only for impulse turbines. In throttle governing, suitable for small. This throttle governing is suitable for small turbines. In nozzle governing, suitable for medium and large turbines. These are comparison of throttle and nozzle control governing. In this today class, we will summary. We have learned about in this class. We have learned about governing is the method to maintain constant speed irrespective of load. Governing is the method to maintain constant speed irrespective of load. Next types: throttle governing, nozzle control governing, bypass governing, combined throttle and nozzle governing. Next, combination of throttle and bypass governing. These are combined or combination throttle and nozzle governing. In this summary, in today class, this topic we have learn about in today class in this summary. In this class we have learned about governing is the method to maintain constant speed irrespective of load. To maintain constant speed irrespective of load. Types throttle governing. Types is throttle governing. Nozzle control governing. Types summary: throttle governing, nozzle control governing, bypass governing, combined or combination throttle and nozzle governing, combined throttle and bypass governing. This topic we have learned about in today class. In this summary, quiz. Governor is a device which control. Governor is a quiz. In this topic, quiz. Ask some quiz. Today's summary. In this class we have learned about governing in the method to maintain constant speed irrespective of loads. Types: throttling governing, nozzle control governing, bypass governing, combined throttle and nozzle governing, combined throttle and bypass governing. Quiz. Governor is a device which controls pressure, speed, temperature, none of the above. Speed. Governor is a device which controls speed. Governor is useful to the speed control purposes. Second quiz is most widely used governing method is throttle governing, nozzle control governing, bypass governing, none of the above. Which throttle governing is most widely used governing methods? In throttle governing is most widely used governing method. In this third, nozzle moving blade setup adapted in nozzle moving blade fixed blade, pressure compounding, velocity compounding, velocity pressure compounding, none of the above. Pressure compounding. This adapted is useful in pressure compounding. In this topic, today class, in this topic, frequently asked questions. What do you understand by governing of steam turbines? What do you understand by governing of steam turbines? List out different methods of governing used to control speed of steam turbines. List out different methods of governing used to control speed of steam turbines. Explain throttle governing. What are its advantages and disadvantages? Explain nozzle control governing. What are its advantages and disadvantages? Explain bypass governing. What are its advantages and disadvantages? This question in today class, today topic, this question may be asked. In this topic, this question may be asked. What do you understand by governing of steam turbine? In steam turbine, what do you understand by governing of steam turbine? List out different methods of governing used to control speed of steam turbines. Third one is explain throttle governing. What are its advantages and disadvantages? Fourth question is explain nozzle control governing. What are its advantages and disadvantages? Fifth question is explain bypass governing. What are its advantages and disadvantages? This question may be asked in this topic. All of you, thanks. Today class is completed.